Hello, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at my Big Finish collection. So these are my purchases from 2018 to 2021. Now the thing is with these is that there's not many because I've bought a lot of digital stuff and I'm going to be talking about those digital things later, but this is my physical collection, and a collection video without physical items is a bit weird. I mean, there is also a Peter Capaldi on my pop filter, so... Ironically, in my Big Finish collection, the first item that I have is not Big Finish. It is called Doctor Who: The Lost Planet. It is a book, I believe, and it's written by... What? It's a book that has been read by Perry. It's about an hour in length. I bought this off Amazon when I wanted to listen to Big Finish but didn't want to spend money on the website. I don't know. So I bought this off Amazon and I still haven't listened to it. The irony continues. The next story is a Torchwood story. It's called Forgotten Light. It's about Gwen and Reese trying to escape Torchwood, but realising that they can't particularly. I haven't listened to this one neither. I bought this on eBay, so I didn't have any digital download neither, because with this, I saw it on eBay and it was like £3. So I went and I bought it, and I bought the disc version of it. I listened to a lot of Big Finish on my phone through the app and through download and stuff like that, but with CDs I have to be in one place for a long time, an hour, which is quite difficult for me to do. So Forgotten Lives is definitely something I need to listen to, and there's a lot of Torchwood that I need to listen to because I haven't listened to any of them, and there's the 50th episode coming out soon, which I'll probably order before May, but I'd like to listen to a couple more of them. I'm hoping that there'll be a whole bunch of sales in May, which means that I can buy like a whole bundle of like 10 or something like that, which would be a good place to start. I need to actually create a list of ones to listen to be honest. So this is Out of Time 1. There are 3, I believe, and they're coming out, I think, year after year, so I think it might be like next May time, the next one, with Peter Davison, which will be exciting, against Cybermen, which are my favourite villains. But first we have the 4th Doctor and the 10th Doctor against Daleks in a kind of space church that is like which sort of is almost like a crossroads for lots of different areas and realities and stuff like that, which is why they're meeting. It has 2 of my favourite Doctors interacting with each other, and that is excellent to listen to, and is something that already I have listened to 3 times, and I intend, because I just downloaded it onto my phone this morning, to listen to it a 4th time. Then we have the Time Lord Victorious stuff. Now this is the first episode, which is called He Kills Me, He Kills Me Not. This was a kind of western one. Really enjoyed this one. I really liked the style and the way that the way it was written. I think it was probably my favourite of the series from the audios that they did. I just felt like it was the most on its own story, and we'll talk about that later. But something else I really enjoyed with that was Brian the Ood. I thought he was very good as a character, and I wanted to see more of that, and I intend to with more Time Lord Victoria stuff. I do intend to get the books, which is a great shame that I didn't buy them when they originally came out, but they were just too expensive, and because I'm not a big reader, I don't want to pay £8 to £10 for a book, or 2 books, or £20 for 2 books that would take me longer to read than Time Lord Victorious as a whole. So I thought that I would wait a while. Then we come into our next audio, which is The Enemy of My Enemy. So the 8th Doctor in this episode is with the Raxians, or the Raxians. I believe they're the ones from the short trip with the Master that they also did. This story I think was good. I didn't think it was excellent, and I definitely preferred that one because I think that it was a bit focused on the story of Time Lord Victorious at this point, and wasn't entirely sure what was happening with weapons and then double crosses and all that kind of stuff. Maybe in time I will have a great appreciation for it when I learn more about Time Lord Victorious. And then the final one, which is Mutually Assured Destruction. Now, I did enjoy this one. It is described in its interviews as Die Hard in space, which I suppose by many respects it is. It's very cool just to see Paul McGann mucking around with Daleks for an hour. I did find once again that I was a bit lost, because the book is apparently... So the first book, or the second book, this is like the aftermath of it. So ultimately I didn't find it that appealing to me, but like I said with the previous one, it might grow in time. I've also noticed that this one has a crack on the back, which I don't know where That sounded wrong. So back in May, or maybe even April, I didn't really know what I wanted to listen to in terms of Big Finish. I knew that there was a lot of Big Finish out there. I was interested in things such as the Time War and all that kind of stuff, and I really wanted to listen to some Eighth Doctor because obviously at this point, you know, it was like the movie, and that was kind of all he had in my mind. So I thought that he would deserve more time, and I really liked him in this box set, so I thought that it would be a good idea to get some Eighth Doctor. And I thought about Dark Eyes, I thought about Doom Coalition, I thought about Stranded, I thought about the Time War, but it was the most expensive, so I didn't get it. Then I settled for Ravenous. Now, it was a recommendation from Cynical Who, and I thought that this would be a nice place for me to get a good substantial box set and a good substantial arc. So I ordered a CD copy of Ravenous for £90, and then I started listening to it on my phone, primarily just walking around with it, downloaded and all that kind of stuff. And I started off, obviously, with Ravenous 1. Now, I really enjoy this box set. I really liked the first episode, The Finest Hour, with Winston Churchill, How to Make a Killing in Time Travel, and The Candyman is a lovely, revived addition into Doctor Who. You know, you can see here that they come with all the individual discs as well, which is nice, and I enjoyed going through all the artwork. This was in May, and it did take me a long time to finish all of these. I tried to listen to like one a week, so one morning I went looking for a Doctor Who magazine. You might wonder why I bought them on disc in the first place, because, you know, I'm more of a fan of the downloads because I listen to them more. I bought them on disc because they weren't that much more expensive. I think it was like maybe like £5 more to buy them on disc and have that brought to you. So I thought, yeah, do you know what? I like DVDs, I like Blu-rays, I like steelbooks, all that kind of stuff. I think that having a physical copy would make me more interested in the series, and for only a couple of quid more, I thought it'd be a good idea, and I definitely don't regret it. So then I came into box set 2. Never really a fan of the final episodes, or the ones that I consider to be the arc-heavy episodes. I really did enjoy the episode on Caldor called Escape from Caldor, and the two-parter, the kind of Christmas two-parter I listened to only the other month, set in Salzburg about the Krampus. For Ravenous 3, I think much the same. I'm not a big fan of the kind of heavy arc episodes. Deep Time Frontier and The Odds Against, for example, I wasn't the biggest fan of because they're more heavy in terms of arc and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't absolutely love Companion Piece. I'm really interested in Bliss, and I absolutely love the 9 and the 11th, and the idea of all that kind of stuff is absolutely cool within Ravenous. And I think it's also in Doom Coalition, and is it in Dark Eyes? Might be. Then you have Ravenous 4. Now, I enjoyed all of this box. I think the weakest was probably Whisper, but it was still a good episode. But the most important thing about this box set is the Master two-parter called Day of the Master. It has Derek Jacobi and Eric Roberts and Missy. It's very, very good and very well written, and a really nice end to the arc as a whole. It really did feel like a big sort of epic end, which I really, really enjoyed. I do hope to buy some more stuff concerning the Eighth Doctor and his arcs, Time War, for example, Dark Eyes, but maybe just the first box set, all that kind of stuff. But I'm just holding back a bit because they are very expensive, and they feel more like an investment than just a product. Then we have Masterful. Now, this only arrived less than a week ago, and it is, of course, the 50th anniversary of the Master in 2021, so to celebrate it, they brought out this release. Now, it took a while due to some shipping issues and something to do with the EU and things, but now it has finally arrived. This one is limited to 3,000 copies. I have 137. It is a really lovely piece of art here. The episode itself, or the episodes themselves, are excellent. Masterful is such a well-written, well-tangled web of story and interactions between different masters, which are really enjoyable. I particularly enjoyed Geoffrey Beaver's section within the episode, within Masterful. He also has his own short trip, which I really liked. The Switching, which I was a little bit dazed by, and Terror of the Master, which is absolutely excellent and really does capsulate all of 70s Doctor Who and that kind of era with John Pertwee and the Brigadier and the Roger Delgado's Master and all that kind of stuff. They do that incredibly well, and I really enjoyed the box set as a whole, and it's a lovely set as well with gorgeous artwork. The good thing about those box sets is they kind of give you a taste of a whole bunch of stuff. You get a taste of different masters that you normally wouldn't experience. Alex McQueen, I think, is an excellent master, and I really would like to listen to more of his stuff. So that's why I'm interested in Dark Eyes and just things starring him now. Eric Roberts is definitely an intriguing master. I'm looking forward to seeing his box set. I probably wouldn't pre-order it just yet and buy it just yet, but I just think that he's a very good master now that he's been given more of a chance to live within Big Finish. And of course Derek Jacobi, who's an excellent actor, and I'm really interested in his box set, one of his most recent box sets called Heart of Darkness. And then this brings me on to my final item, which is The Legacy of Time. Now, I bought this for the sake of getting a taster of a whole bunch of stuff. Within this, you get a story with the 8th Doctor, you get a story with the 7th Doctor and 8, you get a story with Joe Grant and Unit, you get a story with Jenny and the 5th Doctor, you get a story with the 6th Doctor and Charlie, and then you get a story with Tom Baker, Louise Jameson, and Leela. Hang on, I've got confused there. Then you get a story with Tom Baker, Louise Jameson, and Lila Ward. This set was limited to 4,000 copies, and back in August 2018, I went and I bought this just before it was running out. I think it was about 90% sold at this point, and I have 3,615 out of 400. Out of 4,000. It's a lovely box set. Obviously you can still buy the digital stuff, but at this point the physical version is now sold out. But you know, I really wanted to get a taste of a whole bunch of Doctor Who, and it really opened my eyes to what Doctor Who could be in the kind of extended universe and Big Finish and all of that within one release, which I really did enjoy, and it's definitely a thing I like to revisit very often. Lies in Ruins, for example, really got me on this thing with the 8th Doctor. Relative Time is something that I always enjoy listening to because the relationship between the 5th Doctor and Jenny was excellent. And Collision Course, but I don't really want to spoil that. Oh, that was keeping the stuff up, by the way, if you were wondering. And so that's all of my releases in physical forms. Now, Big Finish is a difficult thing to get into because there's a lot of kind of learning to understand how it's written, how it's made, and things like that, you know, that you don't get with just television, because in television you see the thing. With this, they have to describe the items that they're showing you. So it took me a little while to get used to it, but at this point, you know, I have a wish list of a whole bunch of stuff I'm interested in buying, and I just hope that we get things such as sales and things like that on them, which means that I can get them. But now let's take a look at my digital library. The first thing that I've bought that has yet not arrived is the 10th Doctor Volume 2. I've bought the full limited edition book, and I'm buying it for my birthday, so it has yet to arrive. I also have Blood on Santa's Claw, which I believe was a free sort of download. Chimes of Midnight, Farewell Great Macedon, which I believe I haven't pronounced correctly, but I'm not going to try again, which is set during Rome, and I believe it's like a lost sort of story, or one that was never made. Time Lord Victorious, the 2 short trips containing the Master, Lesser Evils, and Master Thief. The Maltese Penguin, Technophobia, Spare Parts, Class Volume 1, and Class Volume 2. So I currently have about 40 releases, and those were just the ones that I considered to be full releases, so not like part 1 of a box set and all that kind of stuff. So they were just the ones that I thought were the full ones. I should have seen this coming when I filmed the video a week before my birthday, and this was coming out the week after, but this has now arrived. The 10th Doctor Adventures Volume 2 has arrived. It's lovely. It's a gorgeous book. I'll do a quick flip through, but it's going to be awkward with this weird angle. But as you can see there, it's got 3 stories. Cold Vengeance is something I haven't listened to yet, but it's the story I'm most looking forward to. Yeah, it's a lovely little book. Sadly, it doesn't fit in my shelf as much as I'd like it to, so I suppose it's going to sit on the side with the rest of Masterful. But that one is limited to 5,000 copies, which is why I've bought it now instead of waiting for a sale like I normally do. But there is another one that I intend to buy at some point. But something that I also did buy, you see that was a nice little transition, is that I have bought a Torchwood audio. This is actually my first Torchwood audio, and it's called Torchwood Outbreak. It's about a virus, so it's not actually that far from what we're living right now, but the premise is much like Miracle Day, where, you know, the world's at its final strand, its final breaking point, I suppose, and it's up to Torchwood to kind of fix it. And I kind of like that kind of desperate, we're the only ones that can survive, and it's been in my watch list for a while. And on my birthday, they did a sale on Torchwood special releases. So I was like, okay, this is just too good to be true. So I bought it for half price, and it's on its way. There's a whole bunch of stuff I want to listen to at the minute. Torchwood, and with the 50th audio with Torchwood, and the Ninth Doctor box sets. There's a lot of things I want to get in between that, and hopefully I'll be able to get them, but you never know. My last video, the features that Big Finish should add to their website. It will be in a card above. I won't bother pointing because I always get it the wrong way around. But that video was seen by Big Finish, and they shared it on their Facebook page and on their Twitter page on Saturday morning. So when I got up as a teenager, I get up at 11. I got up, went onto Facebook, just a habit that I have. Is the first thing to do is go on Facebook. There's not much on there, to be honest, but I go on there. And I saw my face on there, and I was like, "Oh, I don't post things to Facebook." And I was quite surprised by that, and absolutely chuffed with it as well. It's one of the coolest things that's happened to me this year. Well, it is the coolest thing, let's be honest. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you are new. You should go and check me out on Twitter and Instagram, because the day of recording this, I just posted a thing about my fan audio series, which is on the way. I'm hoping this year, but who knows. And it's very exciting because we're beginning to cast it, and we need people young and old and different voices and different nationalities. We just need everything, really. Whatever we can throw at it, let's have it. You don't even have to have much of an acting ability. All I ask is that you have a semi-decent mic that can cut out some background noise and doesn't distort your voice. But DM, whatever. I want as many people as possible. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This was a very long bloody outro. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you soon.